Hello, and welcome to my October wrap-up of reading and watching. In October, I read 4 books and watched 4 anime series. I won't give any spoilers in these reviews, and this is more about my reading experience and overall rating. If I don't have a physical copy of what I'm talking about to hold up, I will include a picture on the screen. The first book I read was the graphic novel Fangs, which I originally read as a webcomic on Tapas. It is a romance between a werewolf and vampire, but is also aimed to be funny and includes many typical jokes. I think it's great for when you want a light read and to refresh your joy of reading, and good for reading in one sitting. I would give it 4 stars as I enjoy it every time, but it doesn't quite evoke the feelings of one that is 5 stars. After that, I picked up And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie, which is a very clever mystery. 10 people are sent letters specific to them with an invite to Soldier Island, and their arrival starts the countdown to there being none. They have all previously been connected to someone's death, but within the law. I love the nursery rhyme, which is used throughout, and the fact that it is hung up in all of their rooms, although its content is definitely more fitting to this kind of story. As more characters are killed off, they start suspecting each other, but they also become more paranoid over the killings following the contents of the nursery rhyme. It can be taxing to remember who all the characters are at first, as they are all introduced at the same time, but as the story progresses, it is easier, as they all have distinct personalities. I am happy that it is now edited without the original racism, and is a book that I can give 5 stars for enjoyment and the way everything comes together. The next book I finished was The Pickwick Papers by Charles Dickens, as I spontaneously decided that I would like to read all of his novels and would be able to as they are easily accessible. As I used LibriVox to listen to this one, I have included a picture of the physical edition I like best. I have enjoyed 2 books by him in more recent years after not really appreciating them in the past, so I decided to give all the books a chance and read in publication date order, hence starting this month with The Pickwick Papers, which was published in book form in the first year of the Victorian era. I have noticed that Charles Dickens has great wit and social commentary weaved into his stories, which reminds me of Jane Austen, although their content is very different. As to my review of The Pickwick Papers, I would say that it was quite funny, with great characters and friendships, but I also got lost at times. It revolves around 4 members of a club travelling around the English countryside and all the incidents that come of it. One highlight is that Sam Weller is a very loyal and selfless character. I enjoyed the book and would possibly reread it, but I don't think it would be very memorable or stand out among others as time goes on, and so I would rate it an average 3 stars. The last book I read in October was Coraline by Neil Gaiman, which I borrowed from my library as an audiobook, which is narrated by the author. The main reason I read it this month is because I listened to it last October and remembered enjoying the atmosphere created by the writing, as well as the sound effects. The story finds Coraline enter a world with another mother in a house strangely similar to the one her family have just moved into. I would rate it 3 stars for my personal taste, as I don't have particularly strong feelings towards it, but it was fun and atmospheric. Overall, it was a good reading month, merely because I enjoyed reading, and also because I didn't dislike anything that I read. I will now move on to talking about the 4 anime series that I watched, as that is also something I highly enjoy besides reading. The first anime I watched was Seraph of the End, Vampire Reign on Netflix, which follows animosity between vampires and humans. The basis is that a virus wiped out all humans above the age of 13 and was caused by humans, after which vampires capture kids that remain and results in a constant battle between humans and vampires. I love the music themes as well as the characters, especially the relationship between Mika and Yu, who lived together as a family with other children and would do anything to save each other. And I also like the vampire Ferid. It is one of my favourite anime series and is easy for me to give 5 stars to. The next anime that I watched was Black Butler Season 1, which I bought on DVD because I had been wanting to watch it for ages and it wasn't available to me on Netflix or Crunchyroll. I already knew that I loved the Black Butler franchise, and it's wonderful to return to a fictional world that you love. Season 1 follows the plot of the manga until episode 6, after which it does its own thing, so it only adapts the Jack the Ripper arc. I also enjoyed its own thing, and I love all the characters, especially Grell, and the setting of the Victorian era. I didn't want the season to come to an end, as I was happy watching each episode, as well as enjoying the music themes, especially the opening theme, and so it's probably clear that I give it 5 stars. It was highly likely from the start that I was going to love it. After that, I decided to watch The Promised Neverland, which was quite possibly the first anime series that I ever watched. It's where I first learned to be wary of the emotional impact of an episode 1. The story focuses on the kids planning to escape before they are shipped out as food by the age of 12, and you root for them to overcome each hurdle. Although they are all great characters, and the 3 oldest are such good friends, my favourite character is Ray. The characters have complementary traits and skills. I would give this anime 5 stars, even though I like others with this rating more. I think it deserves the higher rating. The final thing I watched in October was Heaven Official's Blessing. It's technically donghua, not anime, as it's Chinese animation, but donghua is often categorized with anime. In all honesty, I don't know how to summarize it or put my feelings into words, even though I completely understand what's going on when I watch it. I can only really provide key words of gods, ghosts, loyalty, mystery, and cultivation powers common to this genre. The first mystery involves investigating brides that go missing. The main characters are Xie Lian, who recently ascended to the heavens, and a mysterious character he meets, who is Hua Chen. Regardless of my lack of giving a well-informed review, one certainty is that I loved it and give it 5 stars. I consider the month's reading to be successful for enjoyment, and all the anime was rated 5 stars. Thank you so much for your interest in my video, and I am grateful to be able to share my interests, even if my reviews don't always do justice. Please consider subscribing, liking or commenting, as my channel is still very small and I feel I could easily be lost to the internet void, and it would make me happy. I'll be back with another video and awkward waving soon.